This here is a doorbell from XTU. Alright, coming in from XTU. This is the J6. I've looked at a couple of doorbells in the past, and I am a big fan of smart home video doorbells. So I'm busting to get into this, and hopefully it'll replace the one that I'm currently using. That is a doorbell. That is a security camera with smart doorbell additions. So this is on Amazon. You can pick it up for about £80, and it's reduced down from 100 currently at the time of me actually recording this. And there again, there's an extra £5 off, and I'll put the link in below, but I can't guarantee that's going to be there by the time this is posted, because I need to play with it for a few days. So this is a smart video doorbell, second generation. If we have a look, there's quite a few under XTU branding, so they're veterans whenever it comes to actually doing video doorbells. I have high hopes. This is an original design, 5 levels of motion detection, wireless indoor chime, two-way audio intercom, 1000 milliamp hour big battery, local and cloud storage, and hardwire support. See, the cloud storage is where I think these companies are really making their money, and they want you to go with that first and foremost. Oh. There's a load more features around the back here, but I'm not going to go through them. You can read them yourself if you freeze frame now. Okay, rather indiscreet little white box inside. It's actually quite a nice box that I will use for something else. It's got that new plasticky smell. Must be the plastic around the plastic holder for it. We have an instruction manual, a quick start guide that has a guide to what's in the box. Meet the chime, the app, indicators, history playback, connect the chime, installation with being able to wire it into your existing doorbell if you have one, and temporary attachment if you need to. Okay. We get some stickers so that you can put them up 24 hours or 24/7 monitoring. 2 of those. Lifetime warranty card, unconditional. You can scan here, claim to support, and receive your friendly customer service if you have any questions. Grand. Hello, extend your service. We appreciate your voice. You can get a free gift if you review it online. It'd be interesting to see if that actually works. If you give them doesn't say to give them a 5-star review, so I guess that's within Amazon's alliances. Okay, wow, the doorbell is pretty big. I don't understand why these have to be so big. They do have a big battery in it, I'll grant you that. But, wow, it really is huge. It's larger than a smartphone if you take into account the width of it and the girth of it. Well, the girth isn't too large, but it's solid. Pressing that, oh, that feels nice. Yeah. It's not a plasticky, crappy button. That's a solid, I've pressed a button and it feels good button. I'm going to press it a wee bit more because I enjoy it. Yep, we have a little, is that a watertight door on the back? Where you put in your trans flash card, and there's an on-off button there and a reset button. We have 2 screws, obviously for the wiring. There's a serial number on the back, and there's a hook here that obviously hooks onto this, which you attach to your door frame. We don't see any 3M tape or anything. Oh, there's a thing on the side here too. That's a micro USB charger. I'm alright with that. For a doorbell, I'm okay. There are micro USBs knocking around the house that I refuse to get rid of, just out of principle, because things like this show up, so I'll be able to use them and justify my reasons for saving them and not chucking them out. Okay, we have a screw down there. That's a microphone as well. It even says mic on it. And then we have a bit of protective plastic across the lens, which I'll take it off now, because one of the previous ones had scratches on it, when I took it off. Well, actually there is one there and one there, so it has been scratched in the factory. If I turn it like that, you can just about see it, can't you? But other than that, that's the only two. I'll put it back on for the meantime. What else do we get? We have a Torx style Allen key. That could come in useful actually for other things. Nice. We have a little screwdriver that's difficult to get out. There we go. Starhead screwdriver. We have the Chime, which doesn't plug in. That's interesting. Takes 3 AA batteries. I wonder how long it lasts. Oh, there's a micro USB charger on the bottom. So these must be super batteries. Okay, so maybe you can run it off battery or you can run it off the mains. Might not actually charge it. We have 3 buttons on the top. We have a music button that must change the chime. That is a speaker button, and then there's a settings button as well. So it's just a piece of plastic with a speaker built into it that has a little bit of smart functions. What else do we have? There's a box. An interesting cardboard box. You know, I'll get rid of some of these things. So, just put the batteries in there to keep them out of the way. And as usual, I will temporarily attach this to the door just in case it's crap. I don't want to actually have to put it up on the door and then like drill or wire it in case I decide to change it. Right, so we are given a micro USB charger. We are given 3 wall plugs and 3 screws. Put those back in there. That back in there. We have 4 power cables, 2 bits of 3M tape, and then 2 little bits of plastic. So I'm guessing for temporary arrangements you put that like that and then attach it to the door frame. So these are wire nuts apparently for wiring your nuts. Jumper for original indoor chime. Oh right, okay, so you have jumpers. Right, yes, gotcha. Fair enough. Okay, we have to install the app. I've put the doorbell on charge, just like that, to give it a bit of a boost for us using it here before I go and stick it on the front of the house. So we've got iOS and Android apps there, and it takes us through to the Cloud Edge app. The Cloud Edge, as we'll hit install, which is a security camera app that gets fairly decent reviews. Thanks, Francis. From Cheska, sorry, and Terence, and Rhonda doesn't like it. Look at this, 4-star review after 23,000 reviews. It's had 500,000 downloads, and it's rated Big E3, so your kids can use it. And we have to sign up for an account. Okay, that's us in. It's asking us what devices we would like to add. Okay, so we will open this and we'll turn it on. It's a nice flicky down switch. It's not a rubber switch where you're wondering, have I pressed it correctly? I haven't put in a micro SD card just yet. We have a red flashing light. I'm going to hit add device on it, and it's asking us what kind of device we wish to add, so we'll hit doorbell. Next. It is flashing red. Okay, it's one of those QR code type things, so I'm going to do that off camera. And we got a cuckoo sound there. Wow, I didn't speed that up, by the way. It just found it, did it, and it's done. Right, so we'll turn it that way so we can have a look at Mr. Ash. Okay, we do have a bit of an image coming through there, and we're showing that we've got a high Wi-Fi signal strength. Avoid direct exposure to camera lens, or off camera lens to sunlight. Avoid towards camera lens to wall or glass in short distance. Useful tips. Thank you, I guess. Right, okay, so picture quality isn't terrible. I can hear myself. It says its bitrate is 8 kilobytes per second, but it was at 15 there. And we've got Wi-Fi of 100%. Battery is 2/3 full. So we're on live. We can do a screenshot. We can use intercom. We can record. I am noticing that as I talk, this is repeating everything that I say, which could be a little bit of a security woe if you were to mount this on the front door right now. So we'll go to motion detection first, and we'll turn on motion detection and see what it's like. So we have detection sensitivity. It is no longer recording what I am saying, or relaying what I am saying. We have it set to 3, so I guess we'll have to play with that and see just how sensitive it actually is. We also have day-night detection, which is very handy, and alert plan, alert time period. So you can schedule what type of alert you get. Because the most annoying thing about some of these that are always on is they'll alert you whenever a bush blows in the wind, or a little dog or cat walk past, or perhaps, as I've found, late at night, a spider may crawl across it, and you get to see a very white spider on the night vision of the camera. So we have an album as well for things, for screenshots that we've taken. Nothing happens when I hit intercom. If I go to history, we've got our calendar where we can go back and see, oh, we've lost connection. Maybe it's gone into some form of power save because we're not using it right now. Okay, so I hit the button and it actually shows on the phone that we have received a guest. That guest is a copy of Stunt Island on the PC. How it rang the doorbell is beyond me. Okay, so we can name the device, we can share the device, then we can have the device information. And it shows that we're on the main network. Installation guide. No, we don't need to go through that again. Basic function. Speaker volume. Voice message. Clock. Night vision. Power management. And wireless chime. And we have motion detection there, which we've already been into. Recording management. Event recording. Cloud. Event recording. Recording time 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. And capacity no SD card found at the moment. Cloud storage service. We can try 7 days for free. That doesn't show how much it costs. Device version. There is no option here for us to upgrade firmware, so it must do it automatically. We go to cloud. We can activate. Okay, so if I hit change plan, there we have the prices. 3-day overwriting storage plan, $2.99 a month. 7-day, 30-day. Season VIP and annual VIP. Recording method. Okay, well, we'll use the 7 days to start with and see where we go after that. Right, if I hit screenshot, I can hear myself. We have a screenshot saved there. We go to our album and you can see that screenshot. Intercom. So I can hear myself and it can hear itself. We'll turn off intercom. So that is just a direct connection to your front garden should you be using it. We can hit record and then I'll pan up like that. There is a bit of a fisheye going around. Hopefully I'll be able to get this video out and you'll be able to view it on the go. And you can see all the secrets to the side that I don't film. And up to the light. Stare directly into the light and you can see the side of my head. So that's at 90 degrees to me. So it is a decently wide angle lens. And we'll set it back down again. And we'll turn off record. That's saved it there. I don't see any option for video quality. So we have our devices, we have messages. So alarm, that tells us that someone rang the doorbell, which was Stunt Island coming to visit us. Then we have system messages and customer service messages. Then there's me. That is not me. We have device, album, and settings. Aha! Pop up when receiving a message. Turn on hardware decoding. After enabling this function, the video can be played smoothly, and hot caused by soft decoding of the CPU of the mobile phone can be relieved. A few models have video playback crashes or black screens. We'll keep it off just for the time being, but I may have a go at that over the next 7 days whilst I'm evaluating if this is any good. So we tap that, it shows us our calendar, and it shows that I had a visitor 6 minutes ago. We tap there and it takes us to our cloud storage, which it's currently uploading to. Tap this one and we've got our devices. SD, there we go. We can change it over to HD. You tap on the picture. So I will try and record a similar video. You can make out some of my wrinkles. And the fact that I haven't brushed my hair this afternoon. It's 4:15. I don't think it was the morning. Okay. So I do believe that's probably the best time for me to go and install this on the front door and see how we do with visitors. I'm expecting a few packages and a few friends over the next few days. We will see what happens. But before we do, I've just remembered about this thing. Okay, so it says click on the reset button once. You will see the chime indicator flash red. It's currently flashing red, indicating that the chime is in pairing mode. Press the doorbell button and the chime will sound, together with the blue LED flashing. Right, so I'm not having much luck with this actually pairing. However, I did happen to hit one of these buttons. That's as low as it goes. There's 4 different settings, or there's 4 different volume levels on this god-awful Chime. I think that'll do. Okay, we'll not bother with any more of that. This is lovely, and it's great to have this in your house. Why they don't put extra effort into this piece of crap is beyond me. If I don't get this working, I don't care. I really don't. It's not the sort of thing that I want to be using. Once the batteries die, grand. This is the sort of thing that really lets these things down. But since this works with my phone, which is an achievement over some other doorbells that I've looked at in the past, that means that I'm actually quite pleased with this so far. Alright, so whenever you hit the doorbell, this is what you see on the doorbell. There is a somewhat serious looking me standing slightly off center, even though I'm standing right in front of the doorbell. But I suppose I pressed it with my left hand, so maybe my left hand is right in the center. However, given the wide angle of the camera on board, it still only takes a 1:1 ratio screenshot or picture of the person who's standing there, and it doesn't do a live video, which is a bit of an annoyance. However, you can answer and talk to the person in a two-way form. You can send them a message, or you can hang up on them, which is kind of handy, just to let them know, I'm in the toilet, I will be with you forthwith, or I'm in the toilet, I may be some time, or I'm not going to tell them I'm in the toilet and pretend to be out. So that's what happens whenever you hit the doorbell, and what you can expect. Could be better, but it's fine. It does what you need it to do with minimal bandwidth usage. And this is what you can expect to see from the video. It's not bad. It's a wee bit grainy. The weather is not great, but you can see there is good movement and there's not too many dropped frames. Maybe if you look at the background, you don't see the somewhat bluish grey sky. Although here it's starting to rain, but there's a bit of action as I walk out with menace and presence and walk across the screen and then round the side of my garage to ensure that the house is secure. But it's night vision where I think that this camera somewhat excels, and I think that most people will probably be looking at night vision because the security side of things is much better. It's motion activated, so I've had to turn the sensory stuff way down because these flies and stuff zooming about, it goes off with every movement, including trees and that sort of thing. But you can see everything is really well lit, and it's a dark night, there's no lights on out there, but this is picking it all up from the little paddling pool for my son, which is blue, looking very white, and these things flying right in front of the camera aren't actually affecting the background at all. If anything was moving around back there, you would do very well. You would see it very well. It's a good, clear, crisp image that can leave you relaxed in the fact that your front door area is covered quite well. One thing I do have to give major kudos to this doorbell for is the battery life. I have actually had this up and running for about a month, much to the annoyance of the manufacturers who wanted my review out a lot sooner, and it's taken me a while, but in a weird way, in a bit of an excuse, I guess I was waiting for the battery to die, but the battery is sitting at 47%, and that's after a month of use. I would receive quite a few packages and things like that. Whilst my doorbell isn't used all day, every day, it still is, in an average way, it's probably used averagely. I wouldn't even bother connecting this up if you don't have to, because the battery life lasts. The other nice thing about it is it tells you the Wi-Fi strength. And that's quite crucial, actually, because you don't really get a good idea as to whether or not the Wi-Fi is good, bad or indifferent, and sometimes you'll try to connect to it and it won't work. Wi-Fi does work on this, and it tells you around about how strong the signal is in an actual percentage as opposed to just a standard Wi-Fi indicator. And that is actually quite nice, a bit refreshing to do it that way. Whenever it records video, we're looking at some rather low quality stuff here that does it at about 10 kilobytes per second, and then if we zip up to the higher quality, it jumps up to about 100 kilobytes per second. But it tends to average around about 70 whenever you're recording this kind of stuff right here. It's not amazing. I wouldn't go telling James Cameron to shoot the next Avatar film in it, but for a doorbell, it does really well. And for quick and easy access to a security camera to see what's outside, it's fast and responsive and better than a lot of the other cameras that I've been looking at over the last couple of years. So all in, this is a really good package. It's quite cheap for what it is. You do have the option of being able to pay monthly for that subscription or pay yearly to get extra features for cloud storage and all that. If you don't need to do that, then you just need a functioning doorbell with security camera, then this will work very well with a flash card inside it. Sorry, an SD card inside it. And it's a lot less than the competition. It's a good solid doorbell. It works really nicely. It feels really good. I get a bit of a kick out of using it, as you got the idea earlier on in the video. And I think it's just a solid product. I am quite impressed with it. I'm going to keep it on there until someone decides to send me another one, in which case I will take it down and put it with the collection of other ones. But I would come back to this quite happily and use it again because it's a good product. It is genuinely a good product. Forget about the bell chime thing. It's rubbish. I never got it working. It's sitting in the box now. I would love for the manufacturers to put in Google Assistant or Amazon integration so that you can bring it up on a smart display and be able to view it that way. That would be great. But at the moment, as it stands, that doesn't exist. And I don't think the manufacturer has any plans to do that in the future just yet. So let me know what you think. Chuck any comments down below. Give us a wee thumbs up if you fancy, and turn on those notifications, and do give us a subscribe. And then, of course, you can tune in to the Tech Addicts podcast every Sunday. There's a new show. And TalkSport on a Wednesday morning at midnight for Inspect Your Gadget with myself, Andy and Jason. And other than that, take care.